beating a number 9 ranked BCS team coming in here undefeated. Very proud of our players. We took a moment after the game. I think it was important. Master Sergeant Van Gorder came in from Fort Drum, and everyone knows the things that we've worked with the military this off season, and well as relying on it during the year. And I'm just. I told the kids that when we took a knee and said a prayer at the end, I wanted to make sure that we just kept in mind with tomorrow being Veterans Day, what the men and women of our country do, and I think that's important. It's a great win, but tomorrow, we need to remember what those veterans do to our country. So I'm proud of the players. We played well. We made less mistakes. We were able to get the ball vertically down the field, and we had a good balanced attack. I think at times we were able to move Teddy Bridgewater off the spot. He's a very good quarterback. And, we kept up the lead and kept the momentum as we went on. I think we took advantage early on of a fumbled punt that we turned into 7. I think that really helped us. We carried that momentum late in the game. We still made some errors, but obviously there were errors that from us to recover from. Proud of the seniors in this group to be able to go out with a win. And obviously some of those seniors played extremely well for us. Obviously Ryan Nassib and Alec Lemon had great days. Marcus Sales helped quite a bit, and defensively, Shamarko did a nice job.
Coach, all week long you talked about frustration. I think you used the word a number of times. So, did you sense that there was just a team that was ready to go off on somebody, and today it did?
I used the word frustration, I think, a little bit early on, and I said this publicly. I can understand why. We were all frustrated because we were making too many mistakes, and you get up here as a coach, and the one thing that you always hear a lot of coaches say is there's no one that's more frustrated than myself. But I wanted to make sure and communicate it to everyone that I do understand it's probably more frustrating for our students, our fans, our administration, because we are talented enough to win a lot of football games. At least, with my frustration, I'm still in a position to do something about it, along with our players. So we communicated early on, why, what is that frustration, identified it by not being able to make plays, and then we identified going through a process of how we can ensure that we don't make those type of mistakes that we weren't able to come back to. And I think the team did a very good job through the senior leadership of turning it around and really turning a good positive energy towards this game.
Coach, was the play going to Alec repeatedly throughout the first half and even the first 3 quarters, was that something you saw on tape and you wanted to exploit right away, or is that something that developed as the first and second quarters went on?
Louisville's a good team, and I think you got to be careful when you stand up here and you're an opposing coach. I think we executed very well. You're 9-0, you really don't have a lot of weaknesses, and I just think that we were able to execute well, and our kids did a very nice job of it, without getting into the schematics of things.
Coach, you've also talked in the past about not being able to get that next score and widen the gap. You guys were able to do that today. Can you talk about how that happened, why you were able to go out and dominate?
I just think, we were talking to the players just like we have been all year, Mark, about, concentrating on each play, play out, all effort on each play, and really focusing in. And that's all we tried to do, and not look ahead. And, I think when our players are truly focused and we're able to execute at the level we did today, which obviously there were some mistakes, and we're a good football team. And I think that's been a level of, when I've been up here and the fans and the letters that I get, and, I truly understand. It's just, it's frustrating, but I want to be able to celebrate this. Our kids did a nice job today, and, we need to go back to work and get ready to go and, go back on the road again. But, just for the moment, our kids executed well, they play well, they feel good about themselves, and they deserve that.
Doug, really since the bye week, you've kind of reinvented your offense with the balanced running game complementing the passing game. How important is that just to let Ryan sit back in his comfort zone when a team has to play the run, honestly, the way they had to today, and yet you probably gashed him for over 200 on the ground?
I think it was very successful. I think, obviously the physicality, of what we've been able to do has helped us. A lot of times you hear the cliche is you win on first and second down. That's what wins you the third downs, of being able to run the ball. And I'm very proud of what we've done. I don't know if it's reinvented is the proper word, but I would say an emphasis more in that and more becoming a balanced team. And I think that's helped us a lot when you do have to defend the run.
You said your team did a good job of moving Ted Bridgewater off his spot. How and what were the keys of the defensive line being able to provide that pressure?
Well, again, I think they're a very difficult team to defend. I think that a lot of the checkdowns are in the middle of the field and not looking at schematically. We were able to get some people on the edge and move him. And when we didn't move him, he was very successful. And sometimes when he did move, he was able to run and make plays down the field. So, it was one of the things going into the game that we felt we had to move him, but you have to be very careful, in mixing your coverage and your pressures with him. And it's obvious because, they can make plays. A lot of people can say, hey, just go ahead and pressure him. But, they have very good players on the outside. And then if you don't pressure him, he's able to pick you apart with a 70% completion. He's a heck of a quarterback, and they're one heck of a team. I mean, they were 9-0 coming into this game.
Doug, you mentioned, just to follow up on that a little
Sure.
bit, Teddy got moved off the spot a lot, but he also didn't have a lot to throw to. He was, the secondary really locked down the receivers at times. What were they doing well? What were they executing? What did you see there that allowed them to have such a good game?
Yeah, a little match coverage underneath, but you know what? Everything that we're saying, you can say that about every quarterback. If they moved Ryan Nassib off the spot, if they hit Ryan Nassib, which they've done, the past couple of years, and got him rattled. I think, all the things that you're saying that, if you execute it, then you have a chance, and that's what gave us the chance to do it. And you're exactly right. Front and coverage go hand in hand, Brent. And that's what happened. We were able to, do a good job where you couldn't get rid of the ball fast. And then at the end, we gave up some things that we knew we were giving up, some throws in the flat and everything, keeping things in front of us. Let's make sure we tackle, and let's not get beat deep. But we had a mistake deep in the middle third area, that scored the big play, and that was a mistake by us.
Coach, how big was having Adonis back there, adding another element to the offense?
It's always good. I saw, Ashton limp out there, and Prince got, hit pretty good. And I think that, it's just knowing that Adonis can go in there and you feel comfortable to either finish the game or on a, in the tank package, you're getting down to the red zone. I think when we have those backs and they're ready to go, I think you're able to sleep better at night. And then, as things go throughout the game, there's a sense of security when you have four guys that you can play.
Back to the defensive effort, along with the pass defense, you're also able to bottle up their rushing game pretty well after a couple of tough weeks in that area. Were you able to make adjustments, to stop their run game?
We were very concerned about them running the ball out of 12. They shifted in motion and really have hurt us in the past with it. So, we came in and we've had a lot of calls, a lot of movement, a lot of things going on these past couple of weeks, and we really just tried to narrow it down for the players so, they can play fast. And that's some of the things that I said all week long. It's, just kind of narrow it down so we can play fast, and then the different runs that we see when we get off to the sideline, we'll be able to talk to the players about exactly how we wanted to fit it. And I think with the score, the way it was going, it gave us a little bit of an advantage where, it took away some of their, probably the run game that they had playing coming in.
Coach, you talk about playing all three phases of the game, special teams, defense, and offense. Just go into the adversity the teams had and how they played today.
Obviously, we're proud of how they played in three phases. And again, I don't want to be the dead horse. It just shows that, when we have the capability of executing this way, we're a very good football team. And that's what we got to keep working on. We have 2 games left, I have a problem because I usually take away the victory quickly in my mind because I'm already going ahead. I don't want to do that for these players. We just need to stay focused and just keep working and keep fighting. I think, the lessons that you learn, even myself, is, you just keep fighting. And like I said, I talk to the players. I've talked to people that are very close to me, and once, once the effort becomes so painful, and it comes from Churchill, once the effort becomes so painful, the person that pushes himself through it will win. And I really believe in that statement. And I'm proud of our coaches, and I'm proud of our players because – and I'm proud of our fans that were there today. It was a great crowd, and they had a big thing to do with it. But I think we're all in the same thing. We're all fighting. We're all trying to get through this emotional pain, and I think we did it, and we won. And now we need to continue to do that for the next couple of weeks.
Coach, a lot of people were talking about this as a real swing game regarding the ball picture, the Big East picture.
I'm not going there.
What position
Mark,
are you
I'm
in?
not going there.
You're in better position
I'm not
than
going with a swing game. I'm not going with anything. I haven't all year. And I appreciate that. I don't mean to be rude. I really don't. And I know it's a question you have to ask. My mind is on this game. People have asked me about goals and things like that. And we've tried to focus things down to the little things. And again, it might go against some business practices of what some people do, but that's the decision we made early in the year to keep fighting. And I think because of those decisions, it's helped us through this adversity and the way this team has been pushing.
Final question, Brent. Doug, he's got 2 games left, but kind of an appropriate senior day for Ryan. He set a Big East completion mark. He set the all-time Syracuse yardage mark today. Just a thought about the senior year he's having, and again, with work to do, but, really a lot accomplished so far.
Well, I really think, I've said it probably privately a little bit. I've really seen him come along in these last couple of weeks, and, it's probably the best that he's been throwing the deep ball. He's someone in that position, such a difficult position, but, when you look at least from my standpoint, when you look at a student athlete, you know, and a National Foundation Football, you know, academic award winner, 1 of 15, dual major in the Whitman School, you know, of Management, you know, the community service that he has done, the type of leader that he's been for his team, you know, as a community, as a university, as a football program, as an athletic program. How could you not be proud, you know, of what he's done, you know, in the face of adversity? So I couldn't be more prouder of Ryan and what he's accomplished, and it hasn't been easy for him. And I really, really appreciate that, and I think that as he moves forward and the success he has in the future, he'll represent this community and this university the way we all would want him to. Thank you, guys.